There was this guy and this girl, and they wanted to make a podcast, and they didn't know what to call it, but they sure talked a lot, so they said, let's call it Flappity Flap, Flappity Flap Podcast. Yeah. I really want a cookie with that, but I really want a cookie.
Well, I'm sitting on the ice chest where there are cookies.
Oh, yeah, it's the same ice chest. See, in my mind, that's become the recording ice chest seat, and I completely disconnected it from the bedroom ice chest snacks ice chest.
See what I'm dealing with here?
They don't want your goobery.
You see what I'm dealing with here?
All right, I'll try to.
Good Lord, somebody save me.
Retard my energy to match yours. Retard as in slow, as in.
It's just the emphasis you put on the word. All right, I'll get you a cookie.
No, I don't really.
Baby.
No, I don't really want one now.
Get off of me.
I don't want to eat during a podcast. I just want it, but I don't want it. But thank you, very sweet.
See what I'm fucking dealing with here? Get off of me.
What are you dressed in today? What is your ensemble?
Pajama bottoms and a banana shirt.
Okay. Yeah.
Is that all right with you?
Yeah, it's nice. And he was eating a banana for breakfast, which was super cool.
Mm-hmm.
It was fun. It was fun.
Yeah. I like this shirt.
Mm-hmm.
It
attracts a lot of hair.
Yeah, but doesn't everything in this house?
Yeah, but it's the material that especially... Excuse me.
Especially.
I get worked up. I get emotional about things like banana shirts, and then my voice breaks. Leave me alone. So, yeah, I don't know. I think we do get a bit worked up about... Even though, like, I think we're kind of in the same realm. I think you're a lot more cynical than I am.
What do you mean?
Politicians, and so we get a bit, like, head buddy.
I just don't trust them. I don't.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. I feel like a lot of people kind of are side-takey.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, that's fine. You have the right to.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, I'm just not taking sides. I'm trying to be a little bit like this. Just talking about what I've observed.
Yeah.
And, you know.
And people will push you to take sides and...
Of course. It's been like that all my freaking life. And it's like, okay, what are your sources?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, your media sources? Okay. Oh, you didn't actually hear it come from his mouth? Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of that.
To go straight to the source sometimes.
From both sides.
And to make sure that you're getting unadulterated, if that's the right word, undiluted information.
Sorry. I got a monster in my tummy.
Wondering when he's going to come out.
One of these days.
Yeah.
Go on.
It can be hard and overwhelming, and I think I've gotten better. About, like, on Facebook and stuff, recognizing something that is probably not true. I'll see a thing and I'll like it because I kind of agree with the sentiment or find it interesting, but I usually won't share it unless I've looked at it, or I'll kind of be like,
looked into it,
that sounds not right.
You mean looked into it?
Yeah. Well, what did I say?
Look at it.
No, but...
Because you look at every post.
Who's the hair splitter now?
Well... You know, it's like, what did that guy say? You heard what I said, not what I meant.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah,
I forgot. Yeah.
Go
anyway,
on.
So it's overwhelming, and there's, with the whole kind of like taking sides and like us and them mentality, I think it's just being exacerbated by quarantine and pressures and tensions, and like, so there's even more where I kind of naively thought like, oh, we'll see what needs to be done in terms of the environment, politics, healthcare. And it's like, kind of feels like the opposite, or just like everyone's psychological state is just a bit skewed.
I feel like it's always been kind of like this, though. Maybe it's just more extreme now, but people have always been on opposite sides of the spectrum, and it's like always a tit for tat. If you ever say something like, hey, so this guy did something stupid that I noticed, and it's like, oh, well, but so-and-so did something stupid, or so-and-so did this, and it's like, why does it have to be a tit for tat? Why can't each side just recognize like, oh yeah, actually, you know, but it's not. It's sports teams. Go my favorite sports team, go.
I think I read or heard somewhere, and this sounds totally intelligent, that
well, I've been really sounding super intelligent. So.
that the ego is and your need to be like right, not you, but everyone's kind of need to be right,
the general
or feel right
you.
Or smarter is like a survival instinct, and so trying to get beyond that is really hard work and kind of counter to instincts and however thousands or whatever years of breeding and survival instincts, like I just said.
But the thing is that the parties aren't you. These people don't represent you necessarily. They don't necessarily care about you. They're getting paid really well. They have great retirements. They have great vacations. They're, I think a lot of the time, more than not, are for themselves.
I think it's hard to say, because I think that the people who are maybe less in the limelight there are good people doing good work, and it's hard to stay the course and not be dragged off or have your morality and your path and your platform kind of corrupted.
Yeah, and there's blackmail and all kinds of,
and you just can't get ahead unless you have like
ugliness.
A buttload of money. But I think if you like really admit to yourself that like these people are not for me, they really don't care whether it's Democrat or Republican, then it's like it's extra scary because you really don't have any control. So then you're voting for one person and you may as well be voting for the other side. So it's like you have to sort of believe that to some degree they are trying to do good. Otherwise you just better go live off the grid and just do your own thing and hope that no one comes for you. And I've
thought about that, but it would suck to not have
internet,
computers and stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like I would get bored. Even if it was like day in, day out, like hunting, building, trying to farm and trying to survive. I feel like for any amount of downtime, you would just be fucking bored.
You'd probably be tired, like really tired a lot more. Like at the end of the day, when the sun goes down, your head hits that pillow and you are out until the sun comes up the next day because you're chopping wood or whatever the hell you're doing, making repairs, building stuff, gathering stuff, cooking stuff, cleaning stuff. Yeah. So you're just exhausted. So yeah, not having internet would suck. It'd probably be really good for us, but it would kind of suck. I mean, you couldn't just have an ice chest full of cookies and Doritos and, sit in front of the computer and do a podcast. So how, yeah. So, but it is just kind of farcical just watching, and so the newest thing we were, I just popped on a Facebook. Sometimes we're watching a thing and I just get a little twitchy. I gotta be doing something with my hands or like looking at a thing, that it's bad, that kind of inability just to sit and like enjoy, a show or just, talking or whatever. And so pop on Facebook and I'm like, oh, cute animal videos, blah, blah, blah. And then Trump's blaming Obama for leaving him. First of all, not just not leaving him tests, which would be stupid enough.
Oh, did you see Trump actually saying these things, or were these from a third-party source?
Okay, so to be clear, I did not go to the video of like a press conference or wherever he said it or interview. But I saw
he tweet about it,
multiple tweets. I don't know if I saw his direct tweet, but there were multiple people with the same quote of he left defective or obsolete tests for COVID-19. And they're like, you're talking about like 4 years ago for a virus that was not here because it's a very specific test. It's not just like a coronavirus or...
It mutates. But then again, Trump doesn't know anything about diseases or sterilization or...
Yeah. But what strikes me is that he didn't say...
Sterilization.
He didn't just say, he didn't leave us any tests, the jerk. It was, he left us defective tests, which is like, here's the original like lie, he didn't leave us any tests, to the extra lie, which is he did leave us tests, but they were defective or like, oh my God, or just stupidity because the tests that he left, if that was even ever a thing, which it's not, were not good enough, you know, so.
That's the thing about being a rich baby man.
He's just a baby.
He was fucking born rich. That I think is a big part of it.
Yeah.
Like he thinks he can just go out and say anything and do whatever the hell he wants. I think largely because he was born rich.
And possibly also born with a little bit of a defective brain or something.
Aren't we all, though?
But like narcissistic people, like I don't know the science behind it, but I always just think like I feel like they're technically just damaged in the brain or missing a key component or some kind of connection isn't being made. So, you know, that is just making for the perfect storm to just be like, it's his fault. He didn't leave us. What? And everyone is like, you know.
Jumping on him.
It was like watching those goofuses try to do that padlock or combo lock and goofuses. I love them, Game Grumps. I do love them, but it's like.
There's a video game where the Game Grumps were, Dan and Aaron, they were trying to open this safe that had a padlock on it.
Combination
lock. And they couldn't figure it out because they thought you had to go a certain amount of numbers left and a certain amount of numbers right, but instead you just go to that number. So like the number that's listed, that's written on the lock versus going left a certain number of ticks.
Yeah. So the combo was like 9, 15, 7. So it was like they went left 9, right 15 notches from 9.
From 9,
and then left or whatever the other direction was 7 from that, you know, instead of just going
so
left
they were landing
to 9, right to 15, left to 7.
So they were landing on different numbers than what was actually written. So then they were like, why can't we open this?
And everyone in the world, and I'm like, are we being stupid? Like, is this like an old type of combo lock? But not to like totally digress, but it was like that. Like, am I stupid? Because what you're saying is so stupid. And they're not stupid people, they're intelligent people. But someone said, oh, he dropped out of high school, so he didn't have lockers. And people are like, there's lockers in middle school. Like,
you're zooming right now.
Really not.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let's listen back to it though.
You're a putz and a half. I'm sorry. You're not just one putz. You're a whole half of.
Not just one.
You
putz.
love that. I think that's your favorite.
It's such a weird thing that happens.
What is it? Is it too much saliva?
Could be. I'm
just comparing that. Like saying that thing is so outrageous, and you're like, what? And then you go and you see that 60, and maybe that's part of the problem is that we should just know that that's wrong in and of itself. But I have to go seek validation. So it's like, oh, there's 66 other comments of people going, what?
Yeah. I feel bad for Dan and Aaron because, I mean, you can't have a lapse in judgment and just be like, well, I knew, but it was like 3 a.m. or, you know, my brain had stopped working. You know, that's...
And when you're recording...
when you're the president, you got to freaking check yourself.
That's a whole nother level. Whole other level.
Stop tweeting every time you get a thought in your mind. And think a little bit before you speak.
Think and act presidentially.
How old is he? He's like 70. He should, by that point, go, I need to think before I speak. Period.
Period.
You know, I mean, especially with the whole injecting disinfectant and hitting the body with UV or not UV light, hitting the body with just a large amount of light. It's like, Trump.
We're doing good. We're right under a light bulb. We're good. We're solid.
Because the only kind of light that has been tested to kill bacteria and viruses is UV light. I learned that in my BBP training.
I always have to spell that out in my head. Blood-borne pathogen. Okay.
So, I mean, you can't just hit the body with light. You can't just go out and get a sunburn and you'll be fixed. And I realize he was just spitballing it, but it's like, man, don't do it on things you don't know anything about.
You could be on his pandemic crisis team because you clearly have more qualifications in this area than he does, or more just knowledge and experience. I mean, you knew that. You should apply.
But he would just be talking without any kind of filter. You know, it's like, he
wouldn't check with you first.
He doesn't. He's not checking with anyone.
Yeah.
And you're just making yourself look dumb, and also you're endangering people's lives who think that you speak the word of God. Which surprisingly, a lot of people really look up to him.
Yeah. I think the bottom line is just talk to a doctor, you know?
Or a scientist.
Yeah, but I mean, our access is typically to doctors. It's a little harder right now, but if you...
Both. Everybody you can who is knowledgeable on things.
But I'm saying for, like, if you want to take something that you think
sorry, you're talking
be...
about individuals.
Yes.
Sorry, I thought you were...
Yeah. No, just like
talking about Trump.
If you're thinking about preventive measures.
I mentally stepped out for a minute.
That's fine.
Take a drink.
I like that. I like that visual. Like there's a little you that just opens a door and it goes and like steps out to like take a little sip.
Have a little smoke break.
And then jumps back in. Wait, what now?
Wait, where were we?
Or scientists or this. And I'm like, wait, what I'm saying is sorry. I was like literally out of the room for a second.
Sorry about that.
That's fine.
Go ahead.
Yeah, just like...
I'll keep my mouth shut.
It's fine. Just, don't... I mean, I think we're all guilty of doing like home remedy stuff, And I mean, like, not to blast or embarrass her,
who?
My mom, with the apple cider vinegar.
Oh, yeah.
Because I felt bad that I kept pushing, like, when we get like acid reflux or heartburn or, I think because if you like cook with vinegar or use vinegar and other things, it's not like a big deal. And so you're not really maybe measuring. And we were like pushing it and she was having like this indigestion for like weeks. And it might've been stress or maybe months because she was trying to sell her house. I think it's fine. We're just... Yeah. Dial that back. Anyway.
All right, Miss Chill and Lax.
She was having
She's got her leg up on the wall, like, looking all suave.
Do I look suave? I've got your pajama pants on.
You kind of do. You're kind of doing this, like a batch
I'm
spread.
Trying to ventilate.
Like Chuck Norris spreading his batch.
All right. So anyway, she had a bunch of indigestion. It was super stressful trying to sell the house. Finally happened, whatever. So we take apple cider vinegar for like heartburn, acid reflux, indigestion, little bit. Am I breathing at you?
Maybe.
So then I get up one morning and I'll check with her before I post this because I don't want her to feel silly, but like we've all done it, right?
Take a breath, baby.
What are you talking about?
You're just really like zipping.
I'm really not. I think you're really down here.
Okay.
But you're just like, you're interrupting my flow when you do that every time.
All right, go for it.
So she takes her, because a minute ago you were like doing this, like get on with it. And then you're telling me to slow down. So which is it? You fucking. So anyway, so I get up and she's like, so how much of that apple cider vinegar do you normally take? And I was like, oh, and I pulled out a cup and I was like this much, like a centimeter or something, the bottom of the cup. She's like, oh, I just drank like half a cup and I don't feel very well. And I'm like, oh, fucking shit. Like, yeah. And I'm like running around like, chug some water. I'll make you some toast or something. She's like, I had toast. I'm like, here, have another thing. And like, I think finally it went away. She's like, I'm going to throw up. And I was like, yeah, you're supposed to take. And we were actually taking more than you should take. Like you went back and looked and you're like a teaspoon or a half a teaspoon or something, which is a very small amount, but it was effective when we would take it. And then you started having issues taking it too. But
because I was like, having too much of it.
She took maybe it wasn't half a cup, but she took like a quarter of a cup.
She took a huge amount
and it like burns. And like, she's like, I think I might throw up. And she is one of the smartest people I know, in terms of like just common sense and not, but like she was just desperate. Like, I'm so tired of having
but she's also
this upset stomach,
She's also kind of on the same level as my dad in the way that she maybe isn't careful about certain things. Like she doesn't wear gloves. Maybe she doesn't wear goggles when she probably should, like eye protection and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a not what would you call it? Lack of care for her health, sort of.
Yeah. Or just like a little bit blasé about like, yeah, that's advised or whatever, but it's a guideline. That's
basically what I was saying.
But impulsive too, in the way that nope, not happening.
Trying to take your tea.
Does a body good.
I
think you're just irritated. You're irritable already.
What do you... So...
No, I want to keep on that.
Keep on what? Me being irritated?
Irritability. I can't believe the cookies are so close. Within reach and out of reach.
I told you I would get you one.
I'm just teasing.
You like to say that.
I do. I'm like Trump. I'm just like Trump. I'm just being sarcastic.
It's like, I'm just teasing. I'm just messing with you. Mm-hmm. That basically means like,
no, teasing,
I'm just being a jerk. Come on, just let me be a jerk.
No, when you say it like that, it's like I'm just joking. Like I didn't really mean what I said. That's what that means. It's a different way of saying teasing. It's different when I'm like, haha, your silly banana shirt. And then I say, I'm just teasing you. And you're like, I know. That's very clear. But in that usage, it was like, I'm teasing that I want. So it was probably not a correct, or I'm joking. I use them interchangeably.
Okay.
Hair splitter extraordinaire splitter. Oh, did you hear that? What do you want to talk about? You bish? My lovely little bish.
I'm going to knock that tea onto your lap.
Better down it then. We love Game Grumps, by the way. We were just giving them shit. It was just one of those moments of like, what?
Yeah, they're great.
What are we missing? But they're very smart and entertaining guys. And I definitely thought back or listened back to episodes that we've recorded and been like, what was I talking about? Why couldn't I remember that thing? Or why did I say that thing that was completely the wrong thing? And I feel bad and stupid because it's already up and I don't want to re-upload it. Like just saying a stupid thing like I couldn't remember the name of King... Triton? Triton. I kept saying Titan or Trident.
You were saying Trident.
And then later I was like, Triton.
That's such an easy mistake, though.
Now I still can't remember it. I want to say like Abba Zaba or... Why? The
Charleston
Canadian... The Canadian show. Willy Billy. What is it?
Red Green?
No. Oh God, no.
What? No. You don't like Red Green?
I'm sorry. What? What'd you say?
Keep your stick on the ice.
No, the newer one that you don't really care for, but everyone, your brother and Katie love.
Oh, yeah.
Why do I want to say like an alphabetic type? God damn it.
Susie's going to be like,
she is going to be screaming at us again.
You forgot it twice.
Because I just remembered, I was like, gotta remember this show. Because I do kind of want to go back and watch it. But
I didn't really like it. I know people are going to hate me for it, but...
They already hate you.
Yeah, thanks.
I'm just kidding. What is it called?
I wasn't really drawn to it. I think, I don't know.
I think it's hard for me to understand what they're saying, so it's a little bit like, oh man, I gotta work, or turn the captions on, which takes away some of the feel of, I don't know.
It feels like a lot of, Robin Williams level sassing.
Oh no, come on.
Just listen,
really?
Though.
Okay.
Feels like a lot of Robin Williams level sassing of just like speed talking some sass to each other. Mm-hmm. And that's like the show, which is fine. I never really liked Robin Williams' stand-up and stuff, but a lot of people did. So maybe that's kind of why, because it's like this quick kind of like, talking shit. And,
I think it's a little more clever. I feel like Robin Williams, partly because of the time, was a little more...
nice.
No, it's just more like that was his time, It was slightly less sophisticated, because I think that comedy and...
Sophisticated? He was pretty quick, though.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, I feel like the jokes themselves and the physicality were less sophisticated than now. And that's just always going to be the case, because as you go on, comedy, wit, whatever, just gets more sophisticated. I don't know. Yeah. I guess you could argue it doesn't. But, I keep wanting to say Abba Zaba. What the hell is that show called? Tronkadonk?
Tronkadonk?
I don't know. Abracadabra. Why? Oh, it's on the tip of my brain. My dumb,
I don't think it brain. Is. You're saying things like Abba Zaba and Tronkadonk.
Because in my mind, it equates to just nonsense. Like a nonsense word.
Is it like the name of a town? Letterkenny.
Thank you. I don't know why.
Abba Zaba?
I don't know. So if I just think of...
I think we need to go back through all of them. What was the last one you said?
I have no idea.
I don't know the name of the town, right?
Maybe. Oh, you know why? Because letter, I'm probably thinking letter like alphabet letters. It's not rhyming, obviously, but I have no idea why my brain does the things that it does.
Well, you can't win them all.
Clonk your head against that door just to hear the sound. So how did we get on that topic? There's a lot of this. How did I?
Talking about Game Grumps.
Mm-hmm. We love them. There's just things that you think, man, I wish I hadn't said that. It sounds so stupid. And I don't want to go edit it out because it feels cheaty. But you don't realize how your brain isn't fully functioning because you're paying attention to this little thing that's recording you, and like you're speaking to, hopefully, an audience.
Well, and even if you are fully focused on a thing, like there are other thoughts going on, and you can just be dumb. Like we're all capable of being dumb, and it's okay.
Yeah.
Well, unless you're like killing people because of your dumb.
Because of your dumb.
So don't do that.
Yeah.
Try not to do that.
Try not to. Yeah. But if it happens, it's fine. No, I know. I was telling someone something, and then I drove away. And I do this a lot because, like, if I'm not super at ease with someone, like, my brain isn't fully functioning properly because I think I'm thinking about other things like my demeanor and, like, my appearance or just how I'm coming across, or like, oh, it's a work person, so I kind of adjust my speech. And so I said something, and then I realized that I left out kind of a key piece of information, and it didn't make sense. And I thought, he must think I'm so stupid. But I didn't, and I thought about like emailing him because it was a work person saying, okay, what I told you didn't make any sense. So here's the clarifying, but it would have sounded like kind of desperate, like, so, it just, yeah. My brain does that a lot.
I think that's fair. If you're like, if your brain's in any kind of other mode where you can't
compromised,
where you're not focused on something, like, it's difficult. Reminds me of when I called my landlord like baby or something. Oh my gosh, because I was calling you baby.
Yeah.
Like,
I thought it was like sweetie or sweet pea.
Sweet pea, something like that.
That's so funny.
I called my adult male landlord. Heterosexual, and I am heterosexual landlord, sweet pea or something, or sweetie.
What was he helping you fix your bike that day? I always think that's what it was, but it was something else. I thought
I was just down doing laundry or something, and he was there because he would draw in the laundry room.
Oh,
that's where he would illustrate. He does like all kinds of cool illustrations and like poster designs and stuff. His name's Levi. He's a super cool guy. But I was just down there and just had a quick chat with him. And as I was walking away, I was like, sweetie or sweet pea or something stupid. And I was like, why did my brain do that? What the fuck is wrong with me? Because it was just like such a natural break off.
Yeah.
From like you and my conversations to where I'd be like, all right. Yeah. All right, baby.
Yeah.
All right, sweet pea. Talk to you later.
Like those words just went together.
They went together, and for some reason, it was like a muscle memory.
Yeah.
Even though I was looking at Levi. Pretty cool how the brain.
And he just kind of.
I think he probably just looked at me weird and just was like, okay. I don't remember exactly.
He must have known. Like, I'm surprised he didn't laugh it off. Like, I'm not trying to get with you, bro.
No, I think he was probably also like stressed and lacking on sleep.
Okay.
So
that's pretty funny. Well, I'm sure that there are clients or like experts or something that I am very comfortable with at work. Like when you talk to them, you just have like a natural, rapport or something. And so if you get into that kind of casual, or just coworkers, maybe you get into that kind of casual speech, and then you like slip into maybe something that you'll say.
Like, I love you.
Yeah, exactly.
Didn't you say that to a coworker?
I think I said it. Oh, gosh. Yeah.
You said I love you to a coworker.
I think I called Kathy. I think I said something like bebe or something. And I was like, because whatever I was saying to her was a similar tone to what I would say to you. And so it just like, I slipped into that mode, and fucking, what were we talking about? And I was like, are you okay, baby? I think that's what it was. It's like she wasn't feeling well or something happened. I was like, are you, like, went into that like, aw, and like added like baby or something at the end. And I was like, I mean, she jumped all over that. That was so funny.
You're like, I
Just
hate
like,
you.
God damn.
I hate you now.
Again,
the last
two
time
heterosexual female people.
The last time I ever show you any care.
Yeah, it was good. It was good times though. She was the person who would, if she saw you coming, she'd like hold the door shut, like you weren't expecting it. Like, so
it's funny how you like did that little twist. If she saw you coming, she would hold the door shut.
Yeah, like she'd well, because I'm trying to think of like if you go into the kitchen, when you go into the kitchen, you push the door open, so she'd like hold it, and but other doors you might anyway. So she would like.
I don't think you got what I was saying. Like hold the door open first.
Yeah, no, I did get it.
Oh, okay.
But then I moved on because I was.
But it didn't seem like you did. It felt like you.
Does it matter?
Good Lord.
Good Lord. So, but because I didn't like know her that well, I didn't see it coming. So you just like go to push the door and be like, "What the fuck? What?" And then she'd just open and be like giggling, like, "You got me. You got me good, and I feel like a fool." Yeah, I hate that. It's the worst. Feeling like a fool. Anyway, I'm itchy.
Maybe from all the caffeine?
Nope, definitely not that.
Okay. What do you want to talk about?
What you want to talk about?
We talked about injecting disinfectant and...
Which we are not going to do after much discussion and debate.
Hitting the body with large amounts of... It doesn't even have to be UV light, but just large amounts of light. I don't know if that's exactly what he said.
You're good at that. You should do more. Do more.
I don't know what else to say.
Okay.
I don't know what else to say.
You rival Alec Baldwin in that.
I really don't think so. He does a really good one.
You do good impressions.
All you gotta do is purse your lips out and you pretty much talk like him.
You got the tone right though. I think you have a really good ear.
Everybody, hold on. I have something to say, something very important to say.
See, they're not getting what I'm getting, which is the visual as well, which is the lips coming out and just like the hand gestures. You got him. You nailed it.
Well, he is very strange. If you ever watch him talk, he's always like, I am the very best. I've looked very deep into this information. Right. I have all the information at my disposal. Right. I'm very deep into it.
Could you give us that information, Mr. President?
Yeah, I don't know. He's a very strange man to listen to. Like,
you're very very kind.
Well, after listening to Obama speak and just like very slow, calculated talking, doesn't sound like a goofball.
But he drove me crazy as well. I got to where I had a really hard time listening to him because I did feel that it was very affected, which they all are, but I didn't think he was super good at making his speech feel natural. Like he would do a lot of, I think, very sibilant S's. Is that the right word? Like, or, skills. Like and I think that's
maybe it's a Chicagoan thing.
I don't know if it's
Hawaiian
that or
thing.
Like, I think it would feel a bit like clipped, like this is the way an intelligent, enunciating person talks. And I was just like, oh my God, just talk your normal voice, but like be articulate.
I'm talking more about the content of his speech.
I know, but I just, I'm just saying, like, I have a hard time listening. I had a really hard time listening to Bush too, but like maybe because they're just all kind of faking it. But yeah, Trump is like,
what?
It's like he's not even trying to
faking it.
Yeah, Trump's trying to fake it, but he's less sophisticated about faking it.
He doesn't seem like he's trying to fake it. He seems like he's just being
a toddler,
a goofball who just says whatever's on his mind.
Could we try some UV light? Some light from the sun?
Could we try just some UV light? Or hitting the body with some UV light?
That was good.
That was not good.
That was good.
No.
It doesn't even have to be good because just the way what you're combining is like, if you're a little bit good at Trump and then you're a little bit good at talking like a baby, perfect.
You have to close your eyes and purse your lips.
and then make all your R's W's for the baby part.
Oh, yeah, true. And wave your hands around a lot. He does a lot of hand motions. And he repeats himself a lot as well. Yeah. I've noticed.
But you have a really good ear. Like we were saying for what were we watching? Thor Ragnarok. I don't know how to say that damn. No, it is Ragnarok.
I think it's Ragnarok.
But it sounds like Fraggle Rock, maybe. Or
Thor
some kind of
Fraggle Rock.
Some kind of Muppet word.
What was that song? How's that song go?
Down at Fraggle Rock. I can't. Cool. I got off.
Nice. Thanks.
Let the music play. Worries for another day. Something I don't know. Down at Fraggle Rock. It's such a good show. Job. I used to wait for that to come on, and then it wouldn't. It was like such a freaking treat when that show came on. So, but anyway, so we were watching that movie, and the fiery guy. What was his name? No, it wasn't. I don't remember what it was.
There's a giant demon.
Soldier?
There's a giant demon guy. I don't remember his name.
At the beginning. And I'm like...
Maybe don't spoil it, just in case.
Who it is? Or just what happens to him?
What happens?
No, I won't. So I'm looking up on IMDb, because they always have all these, cool people doing the voice work. And I look at Brandon with a smirk, and I'm like, do you recognize who that is? And he just hadn't been paying attention, because there's no semblance of the actor in that character. And as soon as he paid attention, I saw your brain kind of go, oh, it's Mr. Krabs. And
I don't remember his name.
What the fuck? It's like Clancy Brown or something.
Yeah.
And
he has a cool name.
He also played the prison guard in Shawshank Redemption.
He's been
a real
lot of
prick,
stuff.
Right? But I always remember, I was like, I didn't know that was Mr. Krabs ages ago. I was like, I can't believe that guy is Mr. Krabs. Great voice. And it was very I don't know what you would call it for the character, whatever. So it didn't sound like him to me, but you immediately. So I just think you have an excellent ear for voices and just picking up subtle distinctions in voices and tone or enunciation, whatever. And I was like, motherfucker, I used to be that person who was the best at recognizing voices. So I think that helps. I think your ear is really good and helps with your impressions. Because you do Owen Wilson pretty well now. Do you want to give them a taste?
He's so easy.
You just have to sort of go purse your lip and wow. That's all you have to say.
I can't do it.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, you did it. You did it. That's all you need.
It's really easy though. That's such an easy.
But you would do some other ones, not.
Would I?
Christopher Walken?
No, I'm terrible at Christopher Walken impersonations.
You did a good one of him once, but I feel like you've done some other ones that just took me by surprise and just blew my socks off.
Wow. I mean, wow. I don't think I'm good at impersonations. I wish I could remember
who that was, but I don't know. You're not even trying really hard, but and it's obviously not spot on because you're not practicing, but it's, you capture the essence that makes them recognizable. And it's really fun. It's really fun.
You're funny.
So just don't bring Trump into the bedroom. I think one day I was like, don't do that in the bedroom or anywhere near the bed, or
why would I?
Just don't.
Why would I?
Just don't bring him in here.
That would be.
This is a sacred space.
That would be a horrible practical joke.
It'd be funny midway through a thing to just break into that, and then I would just have to punch you in the face or kick you off the bed.
I pop up out from under the blankets with a wig on and a suit jacket that's too long, or a blazer that's too long, and a tie that's too short.
I'm just saying, just the voice.
A really fat red tie with an orange face and just start talking to you. Oh yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. I just meant the voice.
Oh.
So I just would be
no, I'd have to commit.
Kick you out of the bed, kick you in the face. Not really. I won't do that. I would just be do not.
Thanks. Please don't ever kick me in the face. I'll have to kick you back.
Really?
Yeah.
In the face?
Yeah, if you kick me in the face.
You can't kick a girl in the face.
Okay, I'll just stick my big toe up your nose.
Okay, that's
really
fair.
hard.
That's gross.
Hey, you're the one who drew first blood.
This didn't actually happen.
In this potential situation.
Uh-huh.
Actually, am I the one who drew first blood because I'm doing a Donald Trump impression?
Exactly. Yes, you did. Excellent question. Which I have answered.
I'm being fair, but you're being very
okay, I drew
hostile.
first blood.
Let me talk.
Let me talk. Okay.
Did you hear what I said?
You're being very fair?
Hostile is what I said.
Oh, you're being very hostile? I agree.
I'm being very fair, and you're being very hostile.
I drew first blood. But you instigated. Anyway. The nose thing reminds me of that guy whose secret talent was sticking How many nickels or quarters did he put up his nose?
Oh yeah, there's a thing on Netflix, right?
What was that?
That's like hidden talents of like celebrities.
Michael Shannon, I think is his name. He's kind of weird. He reminds me of David Letterman mated with somebody who I can't think of.
Huh.
Yeah. But
that's you really painted a picture. No,
because when I first saw him, I was like, that guy looks just like David Letterman and this other person.
I really don't like David Letterman.
Me neither.
I feel bad because he seems like maybe an okay-ish guy, but he's just not an entertainer.
Found him funny, but I never liked Jay Leno until you showed me like the news.
I loved Jay Leno. He was so funny.
I didn't like David Letterman because I read an article where Annie Lennox, who I have always loved, and I don't know, maybe she's an asshole, but I just always liked her. She said how weird he was.
Well, maybe it was an off day. Maybe his dog died or something that day.
For a guy who doesn't like David Letterman, you always stick up for him when we talk about this story.
I'm just trying to be reasonable because, like, that's not that big of a thing. If he was just like, you know, kind of not into it. You know, it's not like he was outwardly like.
Job. You get paid $1 bazillion, and that is your job. And you have a guest. It is a guest. Would you treat a guest in your home that you had invited like that? And I think because
maybe if I was feeling
she
bad.
Is visibly like not, I think, comfortable in interviews and that kind of setting. So she's already like someone who's, I think, ill at ease. Because I watched her on Jonathan Ross. That was very essy. I watched her on Jonathan Ross, and
making fun of his. Speech impediment.
I know, I do feel bad about that. I'm just like everyone else.
A lot of Americans might not know about Jonathan Ross.
He can't say his Oz.
He's a British comedian actor.
He's like a talk show host.
Talk show
like
host?
A nighttime.
He's
like a
awesome.
David Letterman. He's like a David Letterman.
I love Jonathan Ross.
Yeah, he is awesome. And I do feel bad about that because it's just an too easy joke. But all the shows he's on, like he's super funny and witty and he makes fun of himself, but he also gets made fun of every time. Mm-hmm. There's a lot more English or UK actors who are successful, which is awesome, or just like news people who don't say their R's. I feel like speech therapy was not a thing like it is here. Kind of like, maybe I won't say it.
What?
Dentistry. It's just not as much of a thing.
Yeah, but it's it's kind of think about like the South.
Yeah.
In America.
Yeah, true.
Like dentistry maybe isn't the biggest thing. There is a reason why. If you check in some gumball machines, they got those hillbilly teeth.
What?
Haven't you ever seen hillbilly teeth?
What?
Yeah, it's like a thing. Maybe it's not PC anymore, but there's like these fake teeth that you stick in the rubber fake teeth.
Oh.
And there's like only 3 or 4 teeth.
You said gumball machine, and I'm like, why would a machine that's
I don't know what you would call them.
Devoted solely to gumballs have teeth in it? Because I'm also thinking of the spirally ones, and like those teeth would not roll.
Capsule machine, I guess.
I get it now. I'm sorry. I was just picturing because I used to do gumball machines a lot. The ones where they spiral down.
So I was trying to take you on this journey
and I went over on my different journey
of speaking, and you didn't even get on the bus.
No, I didn't. I was left behind. What were we talking about?
You were like, this bus seems kind of wonky, and then I left
No, the hillbilly teeth. I understand what you're saying. So anyway, a lot of people can't say their R's over there, but he is a great talk show host. But she was on his show, Annie Lennox, to circle back, and she was like
on David Letterman's show.
No, she was on Jonathan Ross's show, and I'm telling you, I'm going back. That's where I'm linking up with this because she was visibly, I think, uncomfortable or just like maybe just someone who's I think there's a fair amount of these. I think once is like kind of funny, but like I think there's people who like Roger at work. He is a little, and he admits it. He's like, I'm kind of awkward in like small like social gatherings, but he is in a band and he performs all the time, and he performs at holiday firm functions, and he's a performer, but he's not like a chit chat, small talk kind of, So I think she maybe is someone who gets nervous or uncomfortable in these like interview shows, and she like her voice was kind of shaking, and I thought, oh man. So I think that when I heard that story, like heard her talking about David Letterman being weird, I was like, God, what an asshole. Like just like not even trying. She just said it wasn't even like he was awkward. He just did not acknowledge me during the breaks.
Yeah.
So we'd be like on, when we were rolling, you know, and it was live and everything. And then that was it.
I think he was just like burnt out. I think by probably like year 5 or 10 into his show career, he was just burnt out.
Maybe it would be.
Because I mean, you've seen him on the show, like guests will make fun of him and like joke around with him, and he's just kind of like, hey, yeah, just trying to like go through the rounds and just trying to get through it. It's like he was just burnt out.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I never liked him, because he just wasn't engaged in the show.
Yeah.
Whereas Jay Leno was always like, you know, cracking up, making funny jokes, doing the newspaper bit. Oh my gosh, I love that newspaper bit.
Yeah.
It was just more like real and engaged. Whereas Jay Leno's just like going through the, or not Jay Leno, David Letterman was just like going through the motions.
Yeah. How did we get on the topic of David Letterman? Oh, that guy looks so funny. It's so funny, the meandering path that we take. The guy who looks like a mix of David Letterman and someone else who could shove nickels or quarters up his nose.
Yeah, and then when did we get started on that one?
That was his secret talent.
But then he was playing the piano really well.
Big toe up my nose. Oh yeah, so he's playing the piano whilst putting quarters or nickels, because that's a big difference. Nickels. Still, like a fair amount. Like it was like, how many do you think it was?
Because I've put
like 25 total, or no way.
I've put 1 quarter up my nose.
Maybe like 10.
And that's like,
it ripped your nostril.
It stretches your nostril. It's not a cool experience. Don't stick currency up your nose. Don't stick kids up your nose.
I was more like, kids, pause, don't stick.
Hey, currency, don't stick kids up your nose. Really? That got quite a laugh at you.
I think that shoving things up your nose or pulling things out of your nose is a really hard visual for me, really disturbing. It just makes me think of that scene in Total Recall, which is like so old in terms of special effects, where I think they had to make like a clay second head of him. We'll have to watch it if you haven't watched it recently.
I don't remember it.
So there were a lot of, I think, experimental special effects in that movie, like when people get out into the Mars atmosphere and their heads swell and explode. Or melt or something. I don't remember. It was very disturbing as a child, but now I'm like, oh my gosh, it's horrible. But Arnold has to take this like,
I think they were taking the
tracker out of his nose.
I think they were taking the vacuum of space too literally.
Maybe.
But he has to pull a tracker out of his nose?
Yeah, but it's like, I think it's like this big bulbous thing, or he has to pull it out of his brain through his nose. And they just do this like funny like model of him. And I think he does his like Arnold yell, like, oh, whatever. You do a good Arnold. That's another one you do.
Doesn't everybody though?
Yell. I don't. That was not good. I don't know what that was. That was like not Chewbacca, but like, oh.
Come on.
No, I was
Kill
doing
me.
the guy
Come
from
on.
Galaxy Quest when they're laughing. Oh. That's how they laugh. The alien guys. Never mind.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I like that movie.
On Teb. On. Yeah. So you were doing a good. Go back to that. Do that again.
Do what? Teb?
Arnold.
That's all I got. Come on. Put that cookie down. Get to the chopper. I mean, what else does he say? I can't think of anything relevant.
Oh. What is it when he's yelling at the predator to like step into his trap? Like,
I think he's just saying like, "Come on, kill me!
Yeah,
kill me now! I'm right here! Kill me! Come on!" I love Arnold. He's so funny.
So like, what was that video we were watching where he was like feeding a donkey from the table? Was it like a baby donkey or something? Remember? And I was like, look at him. He lives like, he immediately just popped up like 10 pegs in my estimation. Like, I was like, this guy's okay.
He seems
sexual
very
harassment
cool.
and groping of random women aside.
Does he do that though?
I don't know. It was
Has
like
he
a
done
thing.
That? Oh shit!
But I was like, he's okay with the feeding of the animals at the table.
Well, I remember he was
just so sweet. He was like, "You like some salad? Do you want some salad?" And I was like, "Wow,
you want some salad?"
Yeah, he didn't quite say, but yeah, I do like him though. He's like, I just remember watching him in various movies throughout growing up with my parents, and like he was always like, I don't know, it was like a beloved family icon or something.
Somebody on Twitter was like attacking the Special Olympics. He had a photo of himself with some of the competitors, and and somebody was like talking crap about it.
What
and
the
he
hell?
he personally, I think, kind of attacked the guy for it. Was like, these guys have, 10 times the amount of spirit than you do.
No shit.
It was like calling him out to be like a loser.
Why would you do that?
I don't know, because people are assholes. They like to be trolls.
Was it like James Woods or something? I feel like he said some really he said some really shitty.
But I don't think that instance was. I don't know.
Interesting.
My voice hurts from that very small amount of Arnold impersonating.
You just don't do it enough. You need
poorly done.
No, it wasn't. It was very good. It's so. I mean, I am just tickled by that.
Are you?
Yeah, it's good.
Will Sasso does a really good Arnold impersonation from Mad TV.
Mm-hmm. He is
days.
good.
Oh my gosh, those were so good. I'm your clown.
I don't remember that.
They're like, he was like making fun of they were making fun of the clone movie that Arnold was in. He was like, I'm you, but you are me. But if I'm you, then who am I? And it's just like a lot of that.
Because he has a clone in that. Or
that might be it.
No, it's him from him talking. Never mind.
And one of him was holding a baby. He was like, well, who is this? And he's like, I'm you. And he's got like it's like a baby, but with his head holding a cigar. I'm your clown.
That was funny. You're good at that. Maybe because you watched hours of Will Sasso doing him, like you just.
And I've tried sometimes.
Just in your room alone, like practicing, like nailed it.
Alone in the mirror. I'm your clown.
That's funny. You're good.
Thanks.
You could be like an amateur, impersonator.
That's okay.
That was very quick. Why? But why?
That's okay, because I'm not very good at it, and also I just don't wanna.
I just don't want to
do that.
Okay, that's fair.
Sounds like a lot of work towards something I don't really want to do.
All right. Yep, that makes sense.
Can you do any impersonations?
Mm-mm.
Come on. Mm-mm. There's got to be somebody you can impersonate.
No.
Oops.
Careful.
Try it. Try someone.
No.
Why not?
Because
you put me on the spot. I did a bunch of Arnold, a bunch of the same words with Arnold's.
No, voice. I don't want to do that because you did a really good job, and I don't want to.
We can always cut it. Come on, try it.
No.
The audience wants to hear.
No, they don't. I hear them going, God, please don't ever do that.
Come on, we didn't even want to hear this stupid Arnold impersonation.
They did, though, because everyone does. I don't think anyone got tired of that, even when he was, like, governor or running for governor or whatever. Yeah. Man, how did we get here? I always come back to that question.
Why do you come back to that question?
Because I want to know. I want to know.
Well, clearly.
Because I want to make sure that you're very gassy today.
Clearly, you're not a full-blown ADD.
How dare you? Because I want to make sure that wherever we started out, that we closed that,
Oh, yeah.
Loop, circle, whatever. Mm-hmm. Like, completed everything.
No loose ends.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm, yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize you were still going to be talking, you bitch.
Yeah.
You got a real attitude problem.
Go ahead.
No.
Why not?
No. You take it from here, buddy boy.
No.
You think you're the host and I'm just a co-host? You're the Conan O'Brien and I'm your Andy, what's his name? Richter?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm a little chubby man in the second seat.
Wow.
I like him.
Shots fired.
Do you want to go back to the last episode I released where you said like 3 fat shaming things? Yeah. Speaking of shots fired, shots returned.
I think it was just because you were talking about a guy that was being a jerk who was also fat.
I feel like that still doesn't make it okay. I feel like I got the high ground here.
Well, it's like, if an ugly... it's like if an ugly person is being a jerk. It's
I like
just
your
a thing...
version of the word. Ugly. Ugly.
Ugly? You're ugly.
Whoops. Sorry. Kicking the wall.
You're not forgiven.
I can live with that. I'm just kidding. Freaking jacket's in my way.
Oh, you've got it so hard.
I have offered a million times to sit on the ice chest.
I know, I'm just being sassy.
Really? Really?
Moving on.
What is it about an overcast day that makes me very unmotivated to do anything? I mean, it's like 4 o'clock and I'm still in my pajamas, unwashed, only brush my teeth at 3. Or is this just quarantine life? I feel like this is a normal Saturday life.
This is a normal working from home life.
Mm-hmm. Is this what
you don't
happens?
get out of your J's. You remain in your pajays.
Okay.
You, just take it easy.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Except for work, of course.
Mm-hmm. I was going to talk about something, and I felt like I kept thinking of it when you would turn your head and I'd see this like little tuft of neck hair. So then just now when you turned your head, I was like, maybe this little tuft of neck hair will remind me what it was that I wanted to talk about, because I associated it with this little tuft of, which is funny.
What's funny?
How brains work. But
it's like a string around your finger.
Your neck tuft has let me down because I cannot remember.
I'm sorry.
It's fine.
Was it related?
Shave it off. Probably not.
Well,
none of the stuff we talk about is related.
That's okay.
I took the bird to get his shot a couple days ago, all the way to Petaluma. It's like an hour each way.
It's far.
From Guerneville. Because I think the map told me like 40 minutes, and I was like, it is not. It was like an hour or a tiny bit less.
That's a long
to give
drive.
The bird a hormone shot.
So that he's not super aggressive.
Sexually frustrated. And
he wants to peel the skin off of your fingers.
Mm-hmm. I think he thinks I'm his girlfriend, but like in an abusive relationship type of way. Because like when I leave the room or like go let the dogs out, he squawks like, "Where are you going?
Get back here."
Mm-hmm. So
make me dinner or something.
Yeah. Feed me an apple slice. Mm-hmm. Basically.
Hand feed.
You're doing all these hard voice impressions.
Hand feed it to me. That's what I wanted to say.
Yeah. So hopefully we can start holding him soon when the drug kicks in. They said it could be up to a couple weeks.
Is it I guess it is a drug.
I guess.
Hormone drug.
Yeah. So that was like, the adventure of my week. What do you got?
Work and eating cookies.
Nice.
Yeah. And donuts.
Mm-hmm. You don't have oh yeah.
I'm excited for real donut shop donuts. Which
we have been having to put up with the Entenmann's is okay, but it's the kind of fakey. And then the brand that is in there, the Hostess.
Hostess, yeah. Hostess are not good. If you're ever out buying crappy donuts, get Entenmann's. Don't get, what are they again?
Hostess.
Hostess. You just said that. I don't know why I kept thinking Little Debbie, because I think Hostess and Little Debbie are similar.
I think they're rivals in the same kind of treats.
But yes, get Entenmann's because they don't taste like freaking plastic.
They taste slightly more delicious plastic.
Yes.
That weird chocolatey but not chocolate texture. Mm-hmm. But I have to say I enjoy them
kind of wax-like.
Mm-hmm.
But the Entenmann's are good.
Yeah, they are.
Real donuts would be nice.
Mm-hmm.
But can't do that. Mm-hmm. I don't even know if donut shops are open right now.
Probably.
They might be, but I'm not going to be eating some fresh donuts that somebody breathed on.
Yeah, I don't know. Because they might be able to just do like kind of quote unquote takeout orders like a lot of other food places. Excuse me. It was so funny because we were watching, again, Game Grumps playing Resident Evil. Sorry. And they walk in, one of the characters that you're playing, walks into a room and there's a full open box of like pink box donuts or something.
Just like some good looking donuts.
Untouched. And
not even a single donut taken.
Not a single donut taken or bitten into. And Brandon's just like, what? I can't believe that they're just sitting there. Like they went out and bought a box of donuts and then no one ate any because the apocalypse just happened.
Mm-hmm. It's tragic.
It is tragic.
Just like I got a box of donuts, and then
I
just
gotta
like
go.
zombies.
You know that if you had to run somewhere, you would grab a fucking donut and you would shove it in your mouth.
I would probably be stuffing them into my shirt or something.
Yeah. You don't leave donuts behind.
No.
Even I know that.
Leave no donut behind.
You just be like, here, I can't carry them. I'll take this. Eat it. No, man, I don't want it. Fucking take it.
Mm-hmm.
What a waste.
What a waste indeed. What did you say it was like? That scene?
Oh, Home Alone. Yeah.
Home Alone, when he makes a bowl
I feel
of
like
mac and
when I
cheese.
go to say it, oh, you said it, that everyone is going to be right there with me.
Oh, sorry.
Every kid, because
I'm sorry.
It's fine. It's fine. They're there with me. I know Katie is, I'm pretty sure. Because he's prepped the house for the robbers, and then he sits down to make his, he's got his Kraft mac and cheese perfectly in a bowl, because they have to make it look, perfect. And he's like, he does his little prayer.
Because they're sponsored.
Exactly. And he does his little prayer, and then he picks up the utensils, I think, to dip in, and then the clock chimes. So they're not even like at the door like he can hear them. I think that's just the clock chimes, and he's like, oh, gotta go. And I'm like, seriously? You were paying attention to the time this whole time. You know you were. You just now realize what time it is, and you have to ditch your... Oh!
He's a little kid, though.
It's horrible. There's no way.
He's a little kid. Little kids aren't great with time management.
Well, I guess.
Adults aren't even great with time management.
He's got a big clock right there. Like, he knows, like, I have to have the house prepped by this time because that's when the robbers said they were coming. They might have even said, like, when he overheard them, like, we're going to come back at 8 o'clock or something. I was like, so give yourself 10 minutes to scarf that mac and cheese, you idiot.
Mm-hmm. You're making me hungry over here.
And his name is Mac. Macaulay.
Whose name? Oh, his name is Mac?
Macaulay, yeah. Because, I was listening to this thing about, my God, what it...
I'm sorry, everyone.
Mm-hmm. But mostly to me. Because I think, what's his name? Russell Brand was talking about maybe filming Forgetting Sarah Marshall with Mila Kunis. And I think he was trying to, like, hit on her. And she was, like, talking about she's waiting for her boyfriend, Mac. And because she was going out with Macaulay Culkin at the time.
Oh.
Yeah. So his name is Mac, and he's eating mac and cheese. He doesn't.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's like,
You waiting for me
I got nothing.
Macception? I don't know.
Yeah.
That's always my go-to. Hey, you didn't come up with anything.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
You're so aggressive today.
Today?
You're so aggressive every day of your life.
You didn't know me when I was a baby.
Fair enough.
We were talking about how bossy I was. I mean, you wouldn't remember, but I was a bossy child.
When you were a baby? I wouldn't remember.
Not when I was a baby.
I never knew you.
No, I don't
then.
think... Oh, I didn't mean to say you didn't remember. You wouldn't know. You wouldn't know. I wasn't a bossy baby because I didn't have the motor functions and the speech skills. I probably wanted to be, and I was just like, I can't
command you.
But I was a bossy child.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. I feel like you got some stuff you want to say.
What? No.
Okay. All right.
No.
Cool.
You
want to talk about anything else?
Yeah. I just don't know what.
Yeah.
I feel like we've been ping-ponging
I think that's
all
fine.
different topics.
I think that's fine. Sometimes I get a little worried about our format, and then I listen to like they're obviously ahead of us and really good. The Hey Dimu podcast. I know I keep talking about them. They're my new podcast crush. And they just have a really nice vibe. And I think they ping pong a little bit, but they probably don't as much as I think and hope they would. Because I'm like, oh, that's cool. If it works for them, we can do that too. But I don't know.
I think they do as well.
Mm-hmm. So that's
but they
what
also
I aspire
do live,
to.
which is pretty crazy.
Do they?
Yeah.
Oh, the live streaming. Yeah.
Yeah, the live streaming. I don't think I could do that. I think my brain needs downtime unless I've got topics like boom, 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 ready to go.
It is a luxury to be able to edit yourself. Because if you say something like, when you were talking about like, do we want to keep the fat stuff in? Because that's kind of offensive. But it was funny, but like, or just other stuff, sometimes talking about family or friends and like, it's borderline, like we don't mean it offensively or hurtfully, but it might.
Yeah, I don't want to offend anybody.
Yeah.
I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings.
But you definitely probably offended some large people in that last.
I'm sorry.
That's fine. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you feel bad, but I was surprised you were like, yeah, it's fine. And I was like, But so it's nice to be able to edit.
Yes, definitely.
Or edit out some bickering.
Just edit at all.
Or yelling at the dog.
Edit out any kind of dumb things that happen, like...
Or your multiple burps today.
The Hey Dimmu podcast where he was like, so I was over here trying to fix, trying to fix the stream.
Yeah.
And you kept trying to throw the light back at me by saying, what do you want to talk about? Or like, which I get both sides, but...
I find it funny and charming when they do it.
But it'd be nice to be able to cut that. It would be nice to be live, or not live, so that you can cut all that crap out.
Would you have preferred to not hear that though? Because I kind of enjoyed it.
No, it was good to hear. Yeah. I think they have a good demeanor about them just in general.
I think it's nice to see a bit of normalcy.
But from their standpoint, they probably would look back and go, it would have been nice to cut this, and this.
It might throw me into a bad light or something.
They probably don't watch it.
You don't think so?
No, it's like my live thing that I did for that art job. Like that was mortifying.
Why was it mortifying?
Well, it's just live stuff. It's like stressful. And if you're talking to like 100, however many people, it's
And how many people was it? Like 100?
Something like that.
That's
70
crazy.
to 100, something like that. I don't remember, but it was just it's like stressful, and you can't go back and remove stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
And then like once it's up on the internet, it's like you don't want to watch it because you're just going to be thinking like, man, I wish I could cut that. Man, I wish I could do this or that. And now it's out there
forever.
Yep.
And you didn't upload it because it's not under your control.
Nope.
It was Corel.
Yeah.
Crazy. But good for you. Like that's
But I'm just saying step. That from the individual standpoint, it's like, I don't think they probably listen to those back.
It's probably better not to if it's live and it's out there. Yeah. But I know they also put their stuff like on, Apple Podcasts and Google Podcasts and stuff like that. So it's like I wonder if they tweak it at all or edit it at all for those, or they just upload the audio and
I don't know.
Yeah, that would almost be nicer. Just like, I don't have any control. Yeah. I don't need to watch it because it's out there. Whereas like sometimes I kind of agonize over, not that it's like great editing, but some of the stuff like I find the burps funny, but other people might not, or just some other stuff. Like, should we leave this in?
Yeah. Well, I don't think you'll be able to tell what you should and shouldn't do really until you have like an audience.
Yeah.
Saying like, I think you should do whatever you feel like doing and whatever you like doing. Yeah. Then if you have an audience, just start, listening to them. If they're like, gosh, stop burping, or like, stop doing this one thing. And if enough people are saying it, like maybe you should listen to them.
Yeah. Which will kind of suck. So I think obviously we want people to listen, but I think we should really enjoy this time because we do have a bit of freedom where it's like, we just kind of do what makes us laugh or what is just enjoyable to us. And then because at some point, it might be like, not that we'll be censoring ourselves necessarily, but
people try to put you into a box, I think. Like talk more about this, or like, lean more this way.
Yeah. Like I'm always like, I wish Markiplier would play more with Bob and Wade. I find those extra funny. Just, because I think they have a good vibe and good banter and stuff. But
he's a Let's Player, a YouTuber.
His thing. He's got to do, I still watch the other stuff, but I don't know. So I think while it would be good to gain popularity, we should enjoy this time in the closet.
Yeah, maybe figuring out what we're doing.
Yeah. But also just like for now, just talking and laughing and figuring out sound a little bit and like to work on that. But but a little definitely freedom. Anyway. Yeah. I'm super itchy in my underwear line. What the hell is going on here?
I'm sorry.
I think I might need to eat something.
Okay. Are you ready to call it?
Did you want to talk about something else?
I can't really think of anything. Did you want to talk about something else?
I don't think so. I feel like my Peach energy has been spent.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we blasted back and forth through a lot of stuff. We, together, as a team. You, along that journey. Sometimes in the driver's seat.
You're killing me. You really are.
You really are.
You're killing me.
I wonder if a fall from this height would kill me.
Oh, yeah. I wumbo, you wumbo, he, she, me, or wait. He, she, we, wumbo? I don't remember. He's just talking about wumbo. Wumbology, wumboing.
Is that
I wonder if a fall from this high would kill me.
Totally.
It's good. I love SpongeBob.
Mm-hmm.
So good.
For next time, an exhaustive review of Brandon's favorite SpongeBob episodes and his photographic memory of SpongeBob moments in trivia.
Maybe we should prep for an episode.
Yeah, I could quiz you on stuff. That might be fun.
Yeah, we could talk about SpongeBob, and we could talk about a would you rather type thing that Hey Dimmu does. Don't they do a brief Hey Dimmu? Don't they do a brief would you rather?
Yeah. No, I think it's a segment. Yeah, towards the end of the show, maybe.
Oh, in every episode?
I think maybe.
Oh, crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But other shows
what might be fun is to take scenes from SpongeBob, random ones, kind of like that one that you recognize that I always bring up, where I'm I have no idea, and you immediately recognize it, and just be what's this from? And then you could give the background. And then if you don't recognize it, if you don't recognize it, I will shame you mercilessly.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Sounds good. I'm on board.
It's an agreement.
But if I do guess it, what do I get? Because if I'm getting shamed...
a quarter up your nose?
That doesn't sound like a win.
Every time. What would you like?
Maybe a cookie.
But you already bought the cookies.
Well, I don't know.
All right. We'll think about it and let y'all know next time.
Mm-hmm.
Next time on Flappity Flap.
You gotta get close to the mic when you're gonna do that.
Next time on Flappity Flap.
Perfect.
Boop. Is what I meant. I lost my voice when I said boop.
Oh, getting barked at.
Oh. Give me one of those cookies.
No, they're mine. Hey, you stop it. Thank you all for watching.
They're not watching.
Thank you all for listening.